hats on.
Let me go up here. Da-da-da-dun. Oh my goodness. All right, ancient Denmark. Who's there? Hello, Bernardo. Welcome, good Marcellus. What, is Horatio there? A piece of him. What, has this thing appeared again tonight? I have seen nothing. Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it. I'm going to zoom in one more. Tush, tush, 'twill not appear. Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story, what we 2 nights have seen. Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven. Oh boy, I can't read that. There's something, you can see that the words right there are not, they're kind of cut off. Something, and myself, the bell then beating one. Peace! Break thee off! Look where it comes again! In the same figure, like the king that's dead. Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio. It harrows me with fear and wonder. It would be spoke to. Question it, Horatio. Oh, this is the end, sorry. Still trying to get my bearings in this. Question it, Horatio. What art thou that usurpest this time of night, together with that fair and warlike in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak. It is offended. Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak. See, it stalks away. 'Tis gone, and will not answer. I think I go up here. Before my God, I might not believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes. Is it not like the king? As thou art to thyself, such was the armor he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once, when in an angry parle he smote the sledded Pollux on the ice. 'Tis strange. In the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion, if thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast unhappily in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it, stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. Shall I strike at it with my partisan? Do, if it will not stand. 'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence. For it is as the air invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery. It was about to speak, and then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. Break we up our watch. Let us impart what we have seen here tonight to young Hamlet. For upon my life this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it as needful in our loves, fitting our duty? Let's do it, I pray.
That's probably Hamlet's uncle,
right? Yeah, I think so. Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. Though yet of our dear brother's death the memory be green, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we taken to wife. Now following, that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a week's Oh, sorry. Now following, that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late brother's death our state to be disjointed and out of frame, colleagued with this dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with messages importing the surrender of those lands, lost by his father, with all bands of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. Whoops. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be my offer nor thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes? My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now, I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon. Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius? He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go. Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son, a little more than kin, and less than kind. How is it that the clouds still hang on you? Not so, my lord. I am too much i' the sun. Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Ay, madam, it is common. If it be, why seems it so particular with thee? Seems, madam? Nay, it is, I know not, seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river of the eye, nor the dejected behaviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within, which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe. 'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father, for let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. And we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son. Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg. I shall in all my best obey you, madam. Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourselves in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come away. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting has not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Ah, fie! 'Tis
What does that mean?
Kind of like drat or bother. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion, so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother. Must I remember? Let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. Why, she, even she, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, what?
Go up and see if there's any.
No, this is the next page. It is not, nor can it come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Hail to your lordship. Horatio? Or do I forget myself? The same, my lord, and your poor servant forever. Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? My lord, I came to see your father's funeral. I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon. Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father. Oh? Where, my lord? In my mind's eye, Horatio. He was a man, take him all in all. I shall not look upon his like again. My lord, I think I saw him yesterday. Saw? Who? My lord, the king, your father. The king? My father? But where was this? My lord, upon the platform where we watched. Did you not speak to it? My lord, I did, but answer made it none. 'Tis very strange. As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it. Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. I will watch tonight, perchance 'twill walk again. I warrant it will. If it assumes my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. So fare thee well. Upon the platform, 'twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you. Our duty to your honor, your loves as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit? In arms? All is not well. I doubt some foul play would the night... I doubt some foul play. Would the night come? Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes. Let me know if you want to take a break. Getting close to halfway. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season thee in this. Farewell. What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you? So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you. What is between you? Give me up the truth. My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honourable fashion. From this time be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways. I shall obey, my lord. The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold. It is a nipping and an eager air. What hour now? I think it lacks of 12. No, it has struck. Indeed, I heard it not. It then draws near the season wherein the Spirit held his wont to walk. Look, my lord, it comes! Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. King, father, royal Dane, oh, answer me! What may this mean, that thou, dead corse, again in complete steel, revisitest thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous, and we, fools of nature, so horridly to shake our disposition? Our disposition, with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say, why is this? It will not speak, then I will follow it. Do not, my lord. Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing as immortal as itself? I'll follow it. Hold off your hands. He waxes desperate with imagination. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Heaven will direct it. Nay, let's follow him. Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further. My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render myself. Alas, poor ghost, pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall enfold. Speak, I am bound to hear, so art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear. What? I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain time to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh list! If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. Murder? Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural. A serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. O my prophetic soul, my uncle? Aye, that incestuous, that adulterous beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust the will of my utmost seeming virtuous queen. Thus was I, by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible! Most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. O most pernicious woman, O villain, villain, smiling, damned villain. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word, it is... Wait a minute. Did I miss something? There was adieu, adieu, remember me. Oh, I guess they skipped that. Oh, now to my word, it is adieu, adieu, remember me. I have sworn it. My lord, my lord. Never make known what you have seen here tonight. My lord, we will not. Nay, but swear it. Swear. O day and night, but this is wondrous strange. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange and odd soever I bear myself, that you, at such time seeing me, never shall note that you know aught of me. This not to do, so grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear, swear. Rest, rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, with all my love, I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you? Okay, his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. let us go together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. O cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together. Oops. Is that it? Yeah. How now, Ophelia? What's the matter? Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted. With what in the name of God? My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat on his head, his stockings fouled, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me. Mad for thy love? My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it. He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Long stayed he so. At last he raised a sigh so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulders turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me. What, have you given him any hard words of late? No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters, and denied his access to me. That hath made him mad. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I shall be brief. Your noble... Wait a minute. Okay. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go. More matter with less art. Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect. Perpend! I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. In her excellent white bosom. Came this from Hamlet to her? But how hath she received his love? What do you think of me? As of a man faithful and honorable. I would fain prove so. But what might you think, had I seen this hot love on the wing, and looked upon it with idle sight? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus did I bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star this must not be. And he, repulsed a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, and into this madness wherein he now raves, and all we mourn for. Do you think 'tis true? It may be, very like. Hath there been such a time, I would fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise. There's something cut off there, I think. Not that I know. But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading. Away, I do beseech you both, away. How does, my good Lord Hamlet? Do you know me, my lord? Excellent well. You are a fishmonger. Not I, my lord. Then I would you were so honest a man. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000. That's very true, my lord. For if the son breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion, have you a daughter? I have, my lord. Let her not walk i' the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive, friend. Look to it. Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far, far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. You go to seek the Lord Hamlet, there he is. My honored lord, my most dear lord, my excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both? But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore? To visit you, my lord, no other occasion. There is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to colour. I know the good king and queen have sent for you. I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, foregone all custom of exercises. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. Why, it appeareth to me no other thing than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights me not. No, nor woman neither. To think, my lord, if you delight... Oh, I think there's something cut off. I think there's a whole page that's cut off there. Anyway, to think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We coated them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service. What players are they? Even those you were wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the city. There are the players. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived. In what way, my dear lord? I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. The actors are come hither, my lord. Buzz, buzz.
What's that mean?
He's making fun of Polonius. He doesn't like Polonius.
Who?
Hamlet. You are welcome,
Is that guy that's talking?
He's the one who says, the actors are come hither, my lord. You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? Aye, my lord. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Can you play The Murder of Gonzago? Oh, sorry, I messed that up. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Can you play The Murder of Gonzago? Aye, my lord. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not? Aye, my lord. My good friends, I leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore. Now we're about halfway, so if you want to break, this would be a good spot. You want to keep going?
Yes.
All right. Whoops. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave I am. I, a dull and muddy, meddled rascal, peak like a John o' dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat as deep as to the lungs. This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon it! About my brain! I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these same players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Do you want to keep going? You seem like you're losing steam. You want to keep going?
Yes.
All right. Oh boy. And can you no drift of circumstance get from him? I almost have to get the original. Something he puts on, confusion. Oh boy. Berating so harshly all his ways, days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy? He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak. We have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her father and myself will so bestow ourselves, that seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge. And gather by him, as he has behaved, if it be the affliction of his love, or know that thus he suffers. Ophelia, walk you here. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis too much proved that with devotion's visage and pious action we do sugar o'er the devil himself. Oh, 'tis too true. How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. Oh, heavy burden. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks the flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, perchance to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would these fardels bear to...
Bodkin?
I think it's like a dagger, or a letter opener, or a dagger, or a knife. Who would these fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to those we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Softy now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered. Do you want to pause?
No.
My lord, I have remembered...
We can pause anytime.
Do you want to pause now or about halfway through?
No, we can
All right.
just keep
Okay.
it until the end.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them. No, not I. I never gave you aught. My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. You should not have believed me, for virtue can not so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? What should such fellows as I do crawling between heaven and earth? We are arrant knaves all. Believe none of us. Where's your father? At home, my lord. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell. Oh, help him, you sweet heavens! Get thee to a nunnery, go, or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, quickly too, farewell. Love? His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits on brood. Set it down, he shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating put him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on it? It shall do well, but if you hold fit, let his mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she finds him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think. It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go. What ho, Horatio! Pardon me. You want to pause now? What ho, Horatio! Here, sweet lord, at your service. Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal. There is a play tonight, before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen. Mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming. If he steal aught the whilst this play is playing, and scape detecting, I will pay the theft. They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place. How fares our cousin Hamlet? Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
Whee!
Hold on a second. Oh, okay. No, good mother, here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap? No, my lord. I mean my head upon your lap. Ay, my lord. Do you think I meant country matters? I think nothing, my lord. That's a fair thought, to lie between maids' legs. Look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours. Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord. So long? Nay, then, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables, O heavens. Died 2 months ago, and not forgotten yet? Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do. And thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honoured, beloved, and haply won, as kind for a husband shalt thou... Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first. Sweet, leave me here a while, my spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep. Sleep, rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Wait, oh, I messed that up. Madam, how like you this play? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. So, but she'll keep her word. This is one Lucanus, nephew to the king. You are as good as a chorus, my lord. Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing, confederate season, else no creature seeing.
Daddy,
Yes.
that guy doesn't look like he's up to any good.
He's not. He's an actor. Yeah, he's playing a bad guy. Anyway. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's bane, thrice blasted, thrice infected, thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurp immediately. The king rises. What, frighted with false fire? How fares my lord? Oops. Give me some light! Away! Why, let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungalled play, for some must watch while some must sleep. Thus runs the world away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. £1,000. Didst perceive? I did very well take note upon the talk of the poisoning. Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you. The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you. Your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration. She decides to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed. By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft. Now to my mother, O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites, how in my words soever she be shent, to give them seals never my soul consent. Take a break.
No.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness rage. Therefore prepare you. I your commissions will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazards so near us as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies. Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear, which now goes too free-footed. Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven, it has the primal curse upon it, a brother's murder. Okay. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not enough rain in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, my own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that, struggling to be freed, are more engaged! Help, angels, make essay. Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. Oh, you know what? I messed that one up too.
What one?
Well, because it's supposed to go, all may be well. After he says, all may be well, then he says, see, I still don't know exactly how this goes. All may be well. Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. I think that's how it goes. Anyway. Now, mother, what's the matter? Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Mother, you have my father much offended. Have you forgot me? Wait a minute. Is he with both of them? No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen. Oh, okay, that's her. Okay. Looked like a man under that. Anyway. Mother, you have my father much offended. Have you forgot me? No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother. Come, come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you. What wilt thou now? Thou wilt not murder me. Oh me, what hast thou done? I think we're skipping something here. Skipped a part. He found out that someone was hiding behind the screen, or the arras, that tapestry. He thought it was his uncle, but it's not. So he stabs him, thinking that he's killing his uncle. But it's not.
Who is it, then?
It's Polonius. Nay, I know not. Is it the king? Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this! A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry his brother. As kill a king? Aye, lady, 'twas my word. I think I go here first. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune, thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands, peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom hath not brazed it so that it is proof and bulwark against sense. What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me? Oh, such a deed as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. O shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutiny in a matron's bones, to flaming beauty let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will. O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul. Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty. These words like daggers enter in mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet. A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut-purse of the empire, and the rule that from the shelf a precious diadem stole, and put it in his pocket. No more, a king of shreds and patches. Save me?
Save me.
Save me and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. I think he says that, but it sounds almost like something like she's supposed to say. Anyway.
If it's connected.
Here we go. What would your gracious figure? Alas, he's mad. Do you... Hold on a second. Is he saying that? Is the ghost saying that? Oh, okay. Do you not come your tardy son to chide, that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. O step between her and her fighting soul, conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet. How is it with you, lady? Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look? On him! On him! Look you, how pale he glares! Do you see nothing there? Nothing at all, yet all that is I see. Why, look you there! Look how it steals away! My father, in his habit as he lived! Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. Go not to my uncle's bed, assume a virtue if you have it not. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind. I think this skips around somehow, because this goes from, thus bad begins and worse remains behind. Anyway, the next thing is, I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prattling knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother. I'm gonna go check and see if we have a message. Just a second. Yeah, okay. All right. Oof. You want to keep going or take a break?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep going.
How dangerous it is that this man goes loose. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, pray you make haste. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood rage he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are not relieved, or not at all. Wait a minute. I messed that one up too. This was, he said this before. Ah, boy. So, must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved or not at all. Delay it not. That's how it's supposed to go. Ah, well. Anyway, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun. Good sir, what powers are these? They are of Norway, sir, against some part of Poland. Who commands them? The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Will it please you go, my lord? I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. I wonder if there's something down here we're gonna miss. Hope not. Go a little before. How all these occasions do inform against me, and inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit, with divine ambition puffed, makes mouths at the invisible event. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds? O, from this time forth my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth. Alas! Look here, my lord, larded all with sweet flowers, which beswept to the grave did not go with true love showers. Conceit upon her father, how long hath she been thus? I hope all. Well, I'm trying to figure out who's saying it. I'm trying to figure out who's saying it.
It's that lady.
You think it's Ophelia?
Yeah.
Actually, no. I think isn't that Ophelia's? Okay. I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think they would lay him in the cold ground. Oh, yeah, it is Ophelia. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It all springs from her father's death. O Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. O my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace, in many places gives me superfluous death. Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. O thou vile king, give me my father. That drop of blood that's calm, proclaiming me bastard, gives cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between... Wait a minute. I'm not sure which comes first. Maybe this comes first. What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so saint-like? That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard, gives cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste, unbesmirched brows of my true mother. Oh.
Oh, what?
It just seems... It seems the pages are... I can't exactly follow these panels. I can't tell how these panels flow. Anyway, she's singing, Ophelia's singing now. She's singing, they bore him barefaced on the bier, hey na nani, nani, hey nani, and in his grave rained many a tear. Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia, O heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? You must sing a down, and you call him Madonna. Do you see this, God? Laertes, I commune with your grief, but you deny me right. Be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content. Let this be so, his means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones, no noble rite, nor formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that must call it in question. So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall.
You'll have to go up.
Thank you. One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes. Drowned? Oh, where? There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs were coronet weeds, her coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Long it could not be till her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death. Alas, then she is drowned, drowned, drowned. Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it. How much I had to do to calm his rage, now fear I this will give it start again. Yeah, I think this guy's singing too. In youth when I did love, 'twas methought 'twas very sweet. Hath this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave-making? Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness. That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. I hope I'm going in the right order. That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground, as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. A pickaxe and a spade for and a shrouding sheet, O pit of clay, for to be made for such a guest to meet. He might be singing that. A whoreson mad fellow it was. Whose do you think it was? He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester. Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is! My gorge rises at it. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. Dost thou think Alexander looked o' this fashion of the earth? E'en so. And smelt so? Pah! To what base uses we may return, Horatio. But soft, aside. Wait a minute, does he say that aside? Yeah, I think that's an aside. Here comes the king. Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling. What, the fair Ophelia? Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave. This is I, Hamlet the Dane. Wait a minute. I can't tell if the... I can never tell if the order is right, if I got the wrong order, if they're just cutting out parts. Anyway, oh, maybe they ask this first. Who is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane. The devil take thy soul. Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat. Though I am not splenitive and rash, yet I have in me something dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy hand. Pluck them asunder.
What is pluck them asunder?
Separate them, because they're about to start fighting. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quality of love, make up my son. My son, what wilt thou do for her? Don't kick that, please. Hear you, sir, what is the reason you used me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day. I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be. So much for this, sir. Now you shall see the other. You do remember all the circumstance. Up from my cabin, my sea-gown scarfed above me, in the dark groped I to find out them. I had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold to unseal their grand commission, where I found an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise no leisure bated, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Cut off.
Right. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should put the bearers to sudden death, not shriving time allowed. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of the Danish seal, folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never know. So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it. Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Why, what a king is this? Does it not, thinks thee, stand me now upon, he that hath killed my king and whored my mother, and with such cozenage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm? And is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil? It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there. It will be short, the interim is mine. But I am sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I would impart a thing to you from his majesty. My lord, his majesty bade me signify to you, he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman. What imports the nomination of this gentleman? You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is, I mean, sir, for his weapon. In his mead he's unfollowed. What's his weapon? Rapier and dagger. That's two of his weapons, but well, let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing, the king holds his purpose. I will win for him if I can. This lapwig runs away with the shell on his head. You will lose my wager. You will lose this wager, my lord. I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither, and say you are not fit. Not a whit. We defy augury, since no man has aught of what he leaves. What is it to leave betimes? Let be. Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me. Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardon it, as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, I am punished with sore distraction. Sir, in this audience let my proclaiming from a general evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts. I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it. I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils. Come on. Come, one for me. I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall, like a star, in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed. Set me the stoups of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better health. Come, begin, and you, the judges, bear a wary eye. 1. No. Judgment. Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup. I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Another hit. What say you? A touch, I do confess. Our son shall win. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brows. The queen carouses to your fortune, Hamlet. Good madam. Gertrude, do not drink. It is the poisoned cup. It is too late. My lord, I'll hit him now. I do not think it. And yet it is almost against my conscience. Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me. Say you so? Come on. Have at you now. Part them. They are incensed. Nay, come again. They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord? How is it, Laertes? Why, as a woodcock to my own spring, Osric, I am justly killed with mine own treachery. How does the queen? She swoons to see them bleed. No, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned. Oh, villainy! Let the doors be locked. Treachery! Seek it out. It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not a half hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poison, the king. The king's to blame. The point envenomed too? Then venom, to thy work. Treason! Oh, yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt. Oh, wait a minute. Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane. Oh, yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt. Let's see. Drink off this potion. Is the union here? Follow my mother. He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me. Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, oh, I could tell you. But let it be, Horatio. I am dead, thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Boom! What warlike noise is this? Young Fortinbras with conquest come from England to the ambassadors... with conquest come from Poland to the ambassadors of England give this warlike volley. The potent poison o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence, more or less, which have solicited the... The best is silence? The rest is silence? Does it say the rest is silence? The rest is silence, okay. Yeah. The rest is silence. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Where is this sight? What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search. This quarry cries on havoc. O proud death, what feast is toward in thine eternal cell that
This is the last page,
Yes, it
isn't
is.
it?
What feast is toward in thine eternal cell that thou so many princes at a shot so bloodily hath struck? The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks? Not from his mouth, had it the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. Give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts. Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth, whose voice will draw on more. But let this same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen. Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was most likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally, and for his passage the soldiers' music and the rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies, such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot. And here it says, end, or exeunt omnes.
Exeunt omnes.
Yep. Now, do you want to just stop it, or do you want to quickly read the story of what that was all about? Do you want to see the shorter version of what happened?
Stop it all.